Welcome into Q&A with Q and K. And you know what, guys? We decided that both of us talk so much that we could not constrict this to 2 minutes and 20 seconds anymore. We can't do it. So we're going to be posting these on the YouTube, and then we'll post them on wccpfm.com because we just think they're going to be longer than 2 minutes.
How many of these did we do? We do like 4 of these. And we're like, yeah, that's not enough.
Was it 4?
It was like 4.
Well, we had to really cut ourselves off on every video. It was crazy. I'd be like, Quack, we have to stop. Well, we did some when you were still at your house.
That's true.
Now we're back in the same room, trying to be socially distant.
Distant as much as
So
possible.
the plan for today, we're going to talk Clemson football. We're going to talk our big takeaways from the offense and the defense. And then we have an OOB favorite, the sorting hat. Thanks, John Height. This is his hat. I went and took it out of his office, and he's not here. So this is his LA Dodgers sorting hat. I know, right? Scandalous. And we have some random questions in here.
Ooh.
Fun questions that we think will be fun to answer. And so we'll just pull one out, and we'll answer it at the end.
Okay.
And we'll do this every Monday. That's
Okay.
kind of our plan on Q&A with Q and K. So let's start with some actual Qs. And we'll start with you, Quack. What was your main takeaway from on the offensive side of the ball from Clemson Wake on Saturday?
My main takeaway offensively is that rather than locking on to one way of doing things, the offense was very multiple, and it extended to the passing game. Yeah, I mean, last year, we've talked about it ad nauseum. If you're a listener to our show, we've been beating this horse to death. Like, at one point last year in mid or late October, Clemson was throwing the ball outside the hashes 97% of the time. It was truly remarkable.
That's crazy.
How much that is. And so they weren't using the middle of the field at all. They weren't using anything but, it seemed like, they weren't using anything but rangy receivers to go and win 50-50 balls. There was too much talent to be doing that, but they kind of got lulled into a sense of security with that. And then you can always just run Travis for 7.5 yards a pop. No big deal.
And you can always throw it to T. Like, that was
Right.
kind of the sense of security, too, is just throw it up to T. Higgins. It's going to work most of the time.
And you've had Higgins and Ross, and those were obviously the two guys who were working Rodgers back. Those were obviously the two guys that you were going to throw the ball to. Now, your leading receivers for the first game are a tight end and a receiver that doesn't look like, he looks more like a Taylor Scott. You know, don't misunderstand. Amari Rodgers is a boss, but he's not 6'3", 215, right? You could throw him the ball a little bit more on the ground, a little bit underneath, and he's going to get yards after the catch, and that's kind of his game. I love that because that was one of my predictions going in, that we would see Clemson learn from that sort of lulled sense of security where they weren't quite as multiple last year. And then when Higgins got hurt and Ross was banged up, their passing game really stalled in the playoff. I thought we'd see it immediately from the jump game one, this new and improved passing game, 7 catches from the tight ends, 5 to Braden Galloway. I liked that they were a little bit more involved in not just where they were throwing it, but the types of bodies and the types of skill sets that they employed in passing game.
Yes. You can ask me a question?
Yeah, what was yours, Kelly?
I feel like we
As a
have
follow-up.
we have to stick to actually asking questions
What?
because it's called
we're
Q&A
Qs.
with Q
Okay.
and K.
Do you agree, or is there another thing you would like to bring up, Kelly?
Great question, Juan. For me, and I agree with all that you said, it came down to Trevor Lawrence. And a few things that we noticed with him. First of all, he looked so comfortable, and he was so efficient, and he got off to a quick start, which is not what we have seen in the past, at least in some of these early games, not some of the big games like the Alabama game and things like that. And one thing that really stood out too, we know he had a little bit of a pick problem at the beginning of the year last year, just a little. He didn't put a single ball in jeopardy. I don't remember a single throw that was actually in jeopardy of being picked off. Of course, he didn't throw any picks, so that's checkbox number 1. But he never put the ball in jeopardy. Wake never even had a chance.
What do you have? 6 incompletions and
Yeah.
2 were like drops in the end zone.
Right, and one of
Right
them
in
was
the hands.
the very beginning when Amari fell.
Right.
So you count that one. So I just thought that was really impressive from Trevor. He looked so comfortable. The offense was like a well-oiled machine, and he was really spreading it out, to your point, Quack. He didn't have to rely on specifically one guy or target specifically one guy, which I think is a combination of the offense and the receivers giving him those options, but also Trevor not zeroing in on someone that he really trusts. So overall, that offense was so much fun to watch. I was very pleased.
I enjoyed it.
As someone who was very curious to see what the offense was going to look like. Let's flip it. My least favorite thing, defense, not football, basketball though. What were your defensive takeaways?
The main takeaway I had on defense was you basically had no returning starters. We're still waiting on Tyler Davis to hear about him, but he didn't play as many snaps as you would have liked. And Darian Kendrick wasn't there. You didn't have Skalski in the first half. You had 9 new starters on defense to start the game. And a lot of those guys really stepped up. I know a lot of folks are going to use a lot of breath, and rightfully so, talking about Brzee and Murphy. You may say, I don't know what you're going to say. But I thought Mike Jones looked fantastic. I thought Jake Venables was fantastic in terms of a backup who was thrust into starting duty. I know the corners kind of got dinged a little bit, but Nolan Turner made a couple plays. His first start, been there a million years, but his first start, I thought Xanders made some plays. And then you go into that second group where it seemed like, again, other than corner, where guys got picked on a little bit, and I think that was bound to happen with some of the guys you didn't have, and the fact that a lot of those guys really hadn't played a lot of meaningful snaps. They need to grow up quickly here. But you just had so many guys on that defensive line that played really strong games that we hadn't seen be required to play strong games like that. And the depth, and I thought particularly the depth at linebacker showed in the guys stepping up into new roles. They really didn't make a lot of mistakes there.
I agree. I think I'm going to be a little more negative. Do you have a question, though? You're
not going to talk about Brzee and Murphy? That's my question. Are you going to talk about Brzee and Murphy, Kelly?
Well, yes. That's what everyone's talking about. They were incredible. Brzee, Qualk compared him on the show to Ndamukong Suh.
He destroyed an entire field goal unit.
If you want to hear that, you can always listen to our show podcast on WCCPFM.com.
That's a shameless
This
plug.
Is just a little added fun where we just ask a bunch of questions. I was very impressed with those guys. I do think the secondary, it was a little concerning. Now, I get you don't have Darian Kendrick, you don't have Mario Goodrich because they just weren't available. Those are the terms we get now in 2020. But I wanted to see a little more from Andrew Booth. We've heard so much about him, and it felt like at times he just kind of got picked on by Wake. So I guess I'm being a little negative.
It's fine.
But
it's fine.
Dabo,
Dabo was not, he wasn't like heaping praise on those guys.
But if you're going to get that kind of pressure on the QB like they did with the front four, then things are going to be fine because there's just going to be so much sack yardage in there. But overall, I think that's part of the issue sometimes for the secondary is because Clemson likes to blitz so much, and you're just trying to put so much pressure on the QB that you're not helping as much in the secondary. So we saw that at times.
Yeah, I agree.
But that's the risk you take because we like sacks. And sacks are fun.
What about special teams?
Oh, we have to talk about our guy, BT. That was huge. Friend of the show. He came on last week. If you missed that interview, go to the website. Mm-hmm. And he was excellent. He talked about how he's really worked on his mental game, which we know kicking is all mental. And he grew out his hair, which obviously has made a difference. I think that's a big difference.
All touchbacks on kickoffs.
He's like Samson. It's the hair that matters.
Yeah.
He should keep it long forever.
Yeah, no. I think Trevor's like Samson.
Oh, well, true.
I think
Trevor's we've never seen Trevor struggle with short hair.
True. That's true. Sometimes you get answers to your Old Testament questions on Q&A with Q and K.
You never know. Mm-hmm. You never know. Okay, let's do our sorting hat.
Okay.
Here's our sorting hat. John, again, thank you for the hat. Not sure if you know we have it.
I'm a little nervous.
These are fun.
These are live. This is live.
All right. Yeah,
this is unedited stuff. I don't know. I don't even know what the question. Kelly made the questions. Yeah. I don't even know what type of things I might be asked here.
All right. You'll answer and then I'll answer. Here's our sorting hat question. Right. Question of the day. QT.
I don't know why I'm not looking like it's trivia.
Oh, this is a good one. All right. Favorite season, parentheses, weather of the year. Your favorite weather season. Not like sports season.
I was like, my favorite weather? Well, I like a little cloud cover.
Favorite season.
I like, yesterday there was a bit of a, it was in the 70s. There was a bit of a nip in the air, and I thought,
a nip at 70?
That's good. Yeah, it was like 72, 71. A little breeze, Feels like nice weather for a long sleeve tee or something. Spring is the answer. Spring is the answer. There is nothing like, and I'm not going to say February where it is in Clemson, but there's nothing like going to a ballpark.
I knew you were going to say baseball.
Oh, man. There's nothing like, it's like 67 degrees, sunshine. We get 3 of those days a year in the South, and it's glorious. There's nothing like that.
So it's just spring because of baseball. See, here's the thing.
Yeah, and like everything's in bloom. We just had a blizzard for no reason to start of March.
Do you not have terrible allergies in the spring? Like everyone else in the South? Okay, you're lucky.
No.
Here, I love fall and spring, and I think they all bring great things to the table. But the bottom line is, here in South Carolina, your fall is about 2.5 weeks. Your spring is maybe about the same. So true. I don't really trust fall and spring because you never know what you're going to get.
You appreciate what you don't have.
Well, yeah, but it's so short. I got to go summer just because I know what summer's given me, and I might be hot. I might be hot. It's going to be hot. You might get sunburned, whatever, but I'm going to take it because I love summer. And we get July.
This is all
we
wrong.
Get birthday month.
Why did you go with the other stuff? You were born in the summer. We know that's why. You were born in but I said spring. I don't have to defend my choice. I picked a non-birth season.
Summer's the best. You have less worries, less responsibilities. You're just out there living your life. It's great. I just kicked this.
What kind of summer do you have? Oh,
well,
man.
You know.
We're both adults. Kelly's like, we don't have bills. There's no rent. Oh, summer's great.
I love a good summer. Nice little popsicle. Get a beautiful summer day.
When's the last time you had a popsicle?
I don't know. I just think of popsicle when I think of summer. Summer's the best.
Oh, man. That's good.
You can have your spring and your 2 weeks.
I knew you were going to go summer, though. I knew it. Yeah. I knew it because that birth month, it got me again. I hate birth months. Hey, for more of Q&A with Q and K, just keep it live right here, YouTube, on the website, wcsbfm.com, the word.radio. And if you do want to listen to old shows, we have the podcast. If you have a submission for Q&A with Q and K, our Twitter is wide open.
Oh, yeah.
At Qualk Talk, at Kelly Graham.
You can add
and at 1055 the
questions to the hat. We'll put them in there.
That's right. We're
and
going to do some fun
stuff
with that.
If you like this, it's basically our show, but on camera. So if you haven't listened to our show, that'd be good too.
That's right.
The Roar.
12 to 3 every weekday. All right. Next week, we're going to do something else crazy. I don't know, something normal, and then something weird from the Sorting Hat. We let it decide. So, till then. Bye, guys.
That was good.